Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 33rd episode of the Last Place Fire Team show. My name is Yendi. I'm your host for tonight. Before we get into the show, though, let's go ahead and go through our topics. Tonight, we'll be talking about the Pokemon trading card game live. Bobby Kotick has been subpoenaed. What was your first online game? Vanguard Beta has cheaters, and which esports team would you join? So, before we get into those stories, let's go ahead and introduce our constant co-hosts here, Chris and Alan. Chris, what do you got there, and how have you been?
I've been all right. I got a gift from my wife. It's a LPF sign. Dream is to get it like 20 times bigger one day, but yeah, we're looking at making these little Christmas gifts and stuff like that. Really cool. But I've been all right. Been playing a lot of different Vitcha games. A lot of stuff is coming out, and this month is going to be crazy with more games. In like the next 2 weeks, we got I got FIFA, got Alan Wake, we got Metroid Dread. All these games are coming out. I just recently played a little bit of Deathloop. Recently returned that, not because it's a bad game. Returned it because Kenna Bridge of Spirits I didn't realize was so close. And that was one of my games that I've been waiting for a while. That's like the game I've been hyped about. So I got that, and I will give Deathloop more time later on in the future when it goes on sale and everything like that, because I know right now I'm not going to play it. So but Kenna Bridge of Spirits is dope. I highly recommend it. It's really cool. It's only $40, and it feels like a AAA game, but like whenever it goes to the cutscenes, like they have moments where it like, you know, the PS, if you have a PS5 or if you've seen PS5 gameplay, like their big thing is just like the cutscenes is literally the gameplay, and it just like shifts and you're just playing the game all of a sudden. This one is just like, it has those moments, but it also has those moments where it actually like stops, the screen goes black a little bit, and then there's a cutscene, and then it goes back to it. So I can see where I don't know if this was like a small company that built this, but it took them 2 years to build. It's a beautiful game. The music's awesome. Yeah, check it out. But yeah,
I've never heard of Ember Labs, actually. They might be brand new, or maybe they've done something smaller in the past and this is their big ticket maybe. But I was actually surprised that it was only $40. It looks really well polished from everything that I've seen. How long did you play?
It's the second hit. I've played 2 hours. If you like, so the premise of the game is you're a spirit guide, and it's in, I don't know if it's an actual, it probably really is a tale, but it's basically spirits have these masks, and you go and hang them up to remember them. But if the spirit is not ready to leave, they stay in a certain area. And Kenna, which is your main character, is going there to find out what's going on, so she can help the spirit like pass on. So it's really cool. The masks are really cool. Very early on, right in the beginning, you see these kids playing, and you're like, oh, you're following these kids, and then they disappear, and you notice one kid has a mask on his back, so you know he's a spirit, and it's like, oh, okay. So, and then you get these little creatures that I'm pretty sure I'm going to see everywhere. They're kind of like Studio Ghibli-esque. I can't remember what they're called right now.
The ones with the big eyes?
Rots. They're called rots. Yeah. So
they're super cute.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They follow you around, you collect them, and that's how you level up. The more you find, the more like powers you get and stuff like that. It's great. So nice. Like I said, highly recommend, especially for the price. It's definitely worth it. Top contender for me this year for game of the year for me.
To me, it looks like one of those comfort food games that you just, you want to sit down and play for a while just to relax. But also a lot of not a lot, but a few Majora's Mask vibes coming from it.
Yes,
the whole mask thing. So that's pretty cool.
It's crazy. It's like if my Bree would play it, if she saw the collecting side, when you collect the rots, it's all cute and stuff like that. It's like, oh, this is fun, relaxing. But whenever you get attacked, like whenever you start getting into enemy territory and stuff like that, then it gets like, okay, this is really cool, but it gets a little tough. So
nice. Yeah. All right, nice. What about you, Ellen? How you been, and what have you been playing and or watching?
I've been good. I've been playing some NBA 2K22. I get into it pretty much around this time all the time. Getting my
it looked rough.
Yes, I
It
was.
looked rough.
Listen, there's some people in NBA 2K that I just it's a concept of basketball that people just don't understand. If someone can shoot 3-pointers, just stay with the person who can shoot 3-pointers. Why give up two, not three? And I think people have a very hard time of grasping that concept online. But later on in the stream, when my friends and family came on, we definitely started dominating in 5-on-5. So it's a hit or miss when you play by yourself. The good thing about that game now is that they added a feature where you can do 3v3s without a squad. So you're not playing like these guys who have a bunch of friends and then you're trying to play them 3-on-3 with a bunch of randoms, because that's total domination all the time. So it's been really good. It's a big improvement from last year, because last year had a bunch of issues with it, especially the next gen version. But now they fixed a lot of those issues. But they've have a lot of connectivity issues, which goes for both of the games that I've been enjoying, which is Apex and 2K, have both given me online connective issues, and it's been a little frustrating because I haven't played Apex in a week because I just didn't want to deal with being kicked off of the game. So it's hurt a little bit, especially because they just launched an event on Apex, so getting all that stuff. And I don't like Arena, so I've been missing a piece of my heart with
Well,
Apex.
what don't you like about Arena? Is it
Arena for
just
me, Arena, the game style for Arena requires communication and things of that nature. So when you play by yourself, it is not enjoyable. When you play with people,
okay?
it's not a bad thing. But
Yeah.
when you play, even if it's just one random person, you need all three people. Like, it's not like I can play. The angles are so limited on Arena compared to Battle Royale. So if I'm playing with a random on Battle Royale, I just expect them to run into the open and then just die. But with Arena, it's hold until you actually get the kills, and then you can move forward. And sometimes that just doesn't happen when you have a random. So Arenas is just not
Okay.
for me, and I get frustrated, which is what I said from the beginning. I always said I wasn't going to like this game mode because of that particular reason.
I put a lot of
But
hours into
Fair enough.
it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
but
It
like
took.
I said, yeah, for me, I'm happy that it's there because it gives people who want to play Apex another outlet that doesn't are not used to the battle royale. So like it grows the game, which is great. But also they shouldn't just focus on, because Arena's been working this whole time, which is good for the Arena players, but battle royale has not. So that's been a
Gotcha.
problem.
Nice. What have you been watching? You watching anything new or?
Yes. So my favorite comic book series, Why the Last Man, has become a TV show, and it is on Hulu. And it's basically a story of a man and his monkey. And what happens is they are the only two people with the Y chromosome left in their system. So they're the only two males in Sith males in the show. So, and the whole world is ran by women. So it's a very interesting concept comic book, which I recommend everyone to read. And the show started on Hulu last week, so they dropped the first 4 episodes. I watched 3 of them, and they've been pretty accurate from what the comic is, but the beginning. So I'm interested to see where they take that. What else have I been watching? And I think
What is
that's
that called again?
Why the Last Man?
It's on
Why? Oh,
FX.
like why? The Last
Why
Man.
the Last Man? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it's on Hulu. Yeah. So the first episode's on 4 episodes are on Hulu right now, and I think doing it weekly after that. So
Oh, it's a
definitely check it
Hulu
out.
original, or is
Yes,
it? Oh,
it's
I
a
thought it was on
Hulu.
FX. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. So definitely check it out if you are interested in it's just a different perspective world, like post-apocalyptic, and how everything the story behind it. I'm interested to see how far they go within the comic book, because I mean the graphic novel was like, I want to say it was 10 volumes. So I'm interested to see how many volumes they actually follow, like how quickly, and hopefully it gets renewed and they can actually finish telling the story, because the middle of that is where you get like your real story. So I'm interested to see, and I'm obviously watching it with very critical eyes. So there's that.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris? What have you been watching?
Just What If, man. That's about it. Like all the stuff for LPF debrief, I've been keeping on the side. I still need to finish freaking Bad Batch. I just got into I just been I've re-fallen in love with like playing like solo games by myself. So that's like whenever if I'm not playing Apex on here, or I'll do my dailies or something like that, and then I'll go to my TV and then I'm playing WarioWare or right now Canada Bridge of Spirits, all that stuff. So I've been way too focused on video games, and I do need to start watching some stuff. Because this week we get the Star Wars anime, and then I think we get freaking the
We
first. First, we
Another
get
one then got how Shang-Chi did. They saw how Shang-Chi did and went, wait a second, we can release because people will actually go to the movies. And then we're pushing it back to October 1st.
Yeah, so I will be watching that. It's a lot on my plate. And I think after that, like the October 1st, like when it hits, it's just going to be movie after movie after movie because I think we get James Bond, Dune.
Halloween if you're into horror movies.
Skip.
Yeah, there's a bunch of. I mean, September, October is pretty.
And we're getting close to freaking the Eternals and Spider-Man. Like it's just like
November.
literally right around the corner, and it's nuts. It's just so much content.
And then I mean, then you get Hawkeye, the TV show.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot coming out.
Yeah, so we'll be busting our ass and debrief. So be sure to
be debriefing.
Be sure to turn in.
We'll be debriefing.
Hey, that's awesome, man. The more content, the better, right? So yeah. So for me, I've been watching. I just finished up season 3 of Manifest. As I was telling the boys earlier, the acting, I swear, has gotten worse every episode, but the story is still interesting to me, just because I want to know what the overarching power is and what's happening exactly. That's the only reason I keep watching. Anna doesn't even care anymore. She's like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. This is stupid. And I'm like, yeah, this acting sucks, but it's getting kind of Lost-y, if that explains it. Because Lost went all over the fucking place towards the later seasons. Like, what the hell are you guys doing here? But yeah, I finished that. I've been playing Apex Legends a little bit with Chris and Ryan. Arenas, which has been fun for me actually. Every time I play Arenas, I think of it as just being in the last circle in a battle royale.
It's a tough group though, because some people on our team like to be in the other person's spawn very early.
Yeah. So,
we split up a lot, but like it takes like 4 games, and then we all start connecting and vibing on that same front, and it's just like, okay, we're here, we're good, everything's good. But we just have to get to that 4th game. Hopefully, it just starts connecting very early on.
We sometimes need a longer warm up session than normal. That's all it takes to get on the same wavelength, and because Ryan and I sometimes like to do lone wolf. And it doesn't work out because we're shitty players. So, we learn eventually, and we pulled some wins through. I think
we did. We had a very satisfying one where it was just like it was all 3 of us were kind of split apart. Everybody had their own individual fight for some reason, and then it was just like, hey, I'm being hurt here, and then we both would jump over and then help one person, and then we just took out everybody as a team, and it was great.
It is really rewarding when you play Arena right though.
Yeah, especially when it gets to sudden death and tiebreaker, and it's like, okay, you got this. Like the kids are playing, especially that's the most annoying part whenever I get off the game is if I know a team's really bad, and I'm like, we're just not in the right spot. They're literally getting lucky.
Yep. Yeah, that's been it for me. See anything else? I
mean, I do have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you remember the 21st night of September?
That is tonight, baby.
It's right now. It's right now.
I just watched an Avengers music video of that.
Do you remember?
It was a really bad CGI. It was Captain America as the lead, but his mouth wasn't moving. It was like,
oh my god,
it was perfect.
It was great. It was great. Yeah, it was great. So,
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of housekeeping here. Make sure you check out this week's or last week's. When was that? I don't even remember anymore.
Last week.
Was it last week?
Last week, yeah.
Last week's video of LPF Debrief King Killmonger with Alan and Chris.
Wow.
Make sure you go check that out. And then this week's upcoming video, you gentlemen.
It is debrief again. We have Thor's episode where it's if Thor was the only child. So Odin doesn't bring back Loki.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That
And then
should be-
also
should
we'll
be-
see what happens with Star Wars because
Yeah.
it is still up in the air if they are dropping all of these episodes or
Yeah.
if they're just dropping one. So
Yeah,
it's like,
we'll talk about it amongst ourselves, but if it's all 6, we'll have to figure something out. But yeah, because it's gonna be a lot. So
because
I
that
mean, I know
anime
I'm
looks,
gonna watch it on the first day. So
watch the
who
intro.
knows?
Somebody put out an intro. I don't know if it's real or fake, but that intro
No.
slaps. It's so good.
I saw the trailer to it, and I was just
Oh,
like I said, I'm
Oh.
super excited about this only because we've never seen Star Wars in this.
yeah,
life.
and it looks. Oh my god!
Are you guys talking about the Star Wars with different art styles?
Yes,
Yeah,
they're
it's an
doing a
anime.
Star
Oh,
Wars
It's literally
okay.
an anime.
It's all by Japanese animators
Yeah,
and
That's cool.
directors.
All right.
So,
Well, when's
I
that
mean-
slated to drop?
on
tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Oh shoot. Okay. All right. Well, there
So
you go. That'd be-
maybe Andy, you'll join us on Debrief.
No, you're indeed.
probably not, man. I'm.
Just,
You probably can't tell on camera right now, but I am beat. But I gotta host the show. So, anyways, let's see. Oh, we do have still a giveaway happening currently to make sure you get a chance to win. Make sure you go over to our YouTube and subscribe, and that is literally all you have to do until we post a video. I guess letting you know who the winner is. But all you have to do is just subscribe, and then once we get to 100 subs, we will pick somebody at random to be the winner of a new wireless mouse. So,
Let us give you stuff. We want to
Yeah.
give you stuff. Come on now.
share
Yeah.
with your friends. Let them know about us, and make sure they join.
2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds to
That's
just
right.
make sure that you're subscribed. Just make sure. You might have forgotten, or maybe YouTube. Just go double check real quick, and see if it says subbed, and we appreciate you.
Very simple. You'd be surprised how many of your favorite YouTubers you're not subscribed to. You just watch their videos, but you don't know. And then finally, if you want to be a guest on our show, please contact us through socials, through one of us personally if you know us. Also, something else we want to do is if you have show themes that you want us to cover, or topics, or just, it doesn't have to be certain stories, just send it our way. Put it in chat, or maybe if you have questions for us, we'll try to answer it in the next episode. So yeah. And with that, let's go into our number one story. Pokemon trading card game live will be released soon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever go on the Pokemon.com website, you can play the trading card game in the web browser. But now they're making a full-blown game that will be able to play on mobile and desktop, and that includes Android, iOS, Windows, and Mac. It should go on Switch, right? But I don't know. Who knows? But it looks really, really cool.
What?
It's essentially
I didn't know
everything that you could do on the website, and it is true to game. So everything, if you play this and get good with it, you can actually go to actual tournaments because you'll already know how to play. But of course, you gotta have the decks. So,
they'll just make the decks online now.
Can you verse bots and stuff?
Yes,
Because I gotta re-familiar. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I didn't
assuming,
know
yeah.
this was a thing. This is awesome.
There'll always be somebody to battle because they have people from all over the world, essentially. So, yeah, it says here, Pokemon TCG Live brings players together from all over the world to battle. It's launching in English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, and Brazilian Portuguese, so you always find a player ready to take you on. So, my question for you, gentlemen, and I'll start with Chris here. Are you excited for this, and will you be playing it?
I will be playing it. I'm very excited. I miss playing Pokemon. I mean, I want to get back into card games. Like I wanted to do Magic because a lot of my friends play Magic. It just seems a little overwhelming to me at times, and they keep telling me to play the online version of it. I forgot what it's called. And yeah, with this though, I didn't know that you could play online already, and I am actually kind of excited for that. We'll see how I do. I'll probably get frustrated. But yeah, maybe we can do an LPF stream where we verse each other or something. So that'd be. Are we able to verse each other? You're able to verse friends, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I wouldn't see why not.
They're going to put that feature in. I mean, I feel like they're going to do pretty much what Magic Arena did, so it should.
But Magic Arena, like they had a version where you can actually buy online cards, correct?
Yes,
and then there's a version that everybody has the same cards and stuff like that. You just kind of build your deck.
Well, there's MTGO, which is Magic the Gathering Online, which is where you still would use tickets and stuff to get actual cards. And then there's MGTA, which is the arena version. And essentially you would get your cards like wild cards and stuff like that. But you can do it that way, like either way. I'm sure Pokemon's going to take from both of those and allow you to have your, you're going to have to buy cards from the arena version or packs or whatever the case may be. And they'll probably have like a wild card version to where if you get enough cards, you can get exactly the card. So we'll see. But I'm pretty sure they'll follow that same format because that's pretty much the online card gaming format.
Yeah, and they have a note here that says you can get new cards using in-game currency. So obviously it'll be free to play, and then they'll make their money by selling packs. Yeah, there we go. Free to start. What the hell is that? Anyways, what about you, Alan? Will you be playing this?
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it because again, I'm all for people being able to play games that they haven't been. This is going to give a whole new generation an access to start playing Pokemon. I've never actually played, like I've played Pokemon, but it's not my card game of choice. So I personally won't be playing it, but I am excited for it anyway, because I know a lot of people have been wanting this transition to, to this because it's easier to do tournaments and stuff like that. Cause I know once Magic went online to Arena, you're able to do, host your tournaments that way. And I think that's a good way for Pokemon to stay relevant, where people can't buy a lot of these expensive cards, and you can get these. This gives you a way to get those cards without paying $100 or $200 to get some of the best cards. Because if you save up enough and get a wild card like you do in Magic, you can actually then purchase the card that you would need and purchase a certain amount of the cards you would need, and it wouldn't be at a ridiculous price. Because that's one of the biggest things that happens with the actual cards is that you'll have a really strong card like I know my brother pulled like a Rayquaza, which is like a $200 card, and in some of these games you need like two or three of them, so you would end up spending like $1,000 on a deck. So with this, it kind of gives you a better outlet to get into the game without having to spend like $1,000. Because I know in Magic it's like that too. It's where I would need four cards that you sell at like $50 a pop, and you're spending $200 to $300 just on one single card, set of a card. So I think this is a great thing for Pokemon and for people to be able to get into the game that way.
Unless you like each time you go to draw the card, it's like, please.
Well, I mean, at that point, it's not that like you have the card
in there.
That's just terrible. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you do you want to be able to compete. So I'm sure they're going to have like an unranked mode, a ranked mode, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. So I might check it out. Honestly, I don't think I'll play it long term, but I'll definitely check it.
Sweet. And Alan, have you played the Game Boy version of the trading card game?
I do remember the Game Boy version. I have played it. It is a lot of fun. I remember playing it for the first time when I got it, and it was just a lot of fun. I did spend hours on it, and honestly, playing Pokemon actually made me understand card games in general, because Pokemon was kind of like my first one, and then I just understood card games way better afterwards. So Magic, for instance, became easier because I played Pokemon. And I feel like if you play one of those games, all these other games get better. Or easier to understand because you just grasp the concept.
Gotcha. What about you, Chris? Have you played the Game Boy version of the trading card game?
I'm trying to remember if I have. No, I've only played the Puzzle Fighter game, and that game was a lot of fun. But other than that, whenever I play Pokemon cards, I played the actual version, because the kids camp that I used to go to, every Friday they had Pokemon nights, and it was literally just that. And that's when I actually got to see the transition from Pokemon And I remember everybody playing Pokemon, and some kid came in one day and they're like, "Hey, I got these things called it's called Yu-Gi-Oh!" And it transitioned to Yu-Gi-Oh! Night. So it was really cool where it was like people were playing Pokemon and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It was really dope, man. I missed it a lot. It's one of my favorite. It's a really good memory for me. Just staying that, basically playing hours and getting pizza, and we would just play hours and hours of it and trying to figure out how to build decks. I stuck at it, but I had so much fun. I lost every single game I played, but I had a lot of fun.
Deck building is a time-consuming but very fun experience once you get it. But that also just the problem with deck building is knowing you have to have a knowledge of so many cards that you kind of like it sucks depending if the card have a window, and that's the key thing. Like, because standard, like for Magic, I know they separate it by like standard and like modern and stuff like that, but there's just so many cards now that even I don't remember how Pokemon does it, but I'm pretty sure they have like a window of cards you can choose from depending on the format you're playing. So that makes it easier.
I remember around Christmas, right? They would do a special tournament, like the camp that I went to, and there was always this thing called Camp Store. You opened it, it had candy, you could buy Pokemon cards, all this other stuff, and it would be open like the owner, his name was Jim, would sit there. What do you want? Oh, I want a ring pop, blah blah blah, and give me a pack of Pokemon cards. All right, here you go, and you go. Right. So during Christmas, he would take a box of the Pokemon cards, like the whole box, put it out, and there'd be a circle, and it's like, okay, tonight's a tournament night. Winner gets this deck, and it was at the time the decks would come out when the games came out. They had specialized it, like Sapphire and Ruby. They both had their own decks, and you had that legendary in it. So like, oh, winner gets this. So the way we did it is like the tournament was built from scratch. So the beginning of the night, everybody's sitting in a circle. He'd get a pack and go to one person, open the pack, pick one card from the pack that you want, and pass it. All right, so you open the pack, you look, okay, I want this one. And you pass the rest of the hand over, and it just went around the circle, and everybody would pick. So each time, like a kid, everybody would get a chance to open the pack so they can get a fresh pick. Because obviously, if you just pick that one kid, he's gonna pick whatever holographic shows up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, but at the time, the Pokemon cards weren't valuable or anything like that. So it's just crazy. That's why in this time, like now that people are spending so much money, I think about those times where it's just like, man, we used to just open packs and just pass them to our friends and be like, here you go. Like, you know what I mean? I used to have thousands of them, man. It was nuts. But yeah, man, I couldn't do that today. The freaking box is like what, $100?
Yeah, I mean, a box is a good amount now, but I mean, it's just what happens with values of stuff. I mean, comic books were 25 cents. I mean, look at issue 1 of Superman was only like 2 cents. Yeah. And it sold for like $1.5 million. So
yeah, I just wish now that I think about that tournament thing, I wish I could experience that with friends like today. Like I think everybody would enjoy
they
it.
Do things like they still do drafts and stuff like that. In like you can go to like I know for Magic at least, I can't speak for Pokemon, but I know for Magic you can pay like $15, which is essentially 3 packs, and it's a draft night. And basically what you do is you open up the pack and you draft your card, and then you, just like you said, you pass it along to the next person, and then they will give you a pack, and then you would pick a card from that, and you would build your decks from the amount of people that are playing. So I'm pretty sure there's a similar version of that for Pokemon. It's usually a good way to get. It's the best way to get cards because not only, I mean, you still want to build a deck that's good enough to be played, because after you draft, you play with the deck that you just drafted or all the cards that you picked. So you still want to, but also it's a good way to open up a pack. And like, if you open up a pack and find a card that you really want, you can just take the card that you want. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a really good way to see a lot of cards and still be able to pick the cards that you want.
And I think in Pokemon, you were only allowed to have 52.
Yeah, we'd have to get Guy on here for the
or 50 cards or something like that. But I remember you would go through whenever that last person got their last card and there was cards left over, they put it in the trash pile. And then at the end, they would take the trash pile, get it all up together, and then you just kept going around and around and around until it was all gone. And then those cards you just kept after the tournament. Those were yours to keep. That was like his Christmas gift to us. It's just like, here, you got your own deck.
Yep. So nice. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I am excited for it, but I don't think I will be playing it because it's just something about mobile games for me. I
Hard to
can't.
get into.
Yeah, man. Like the thing is, I love Hearthstone when it came out,
Me
and I
too.
played it for a long time, and I absolutely love the game. There's nothing about it that I don't like. It's just I don't know if it's because it is mobile. I know you can play it on PC too, but I just, it's hard for me to stay on it, stay focused with it because I don't see my phone as a gaming device. I know a lot of people do and take it seriously. That's fine, but I just can't personally do that, and I just forget most of the time, to be honest, because it's hidden away in some drawer, somewhere, and
That's why I want it on my Switch. I wouldn't mind like
yeah,
docking it
well,
and playing it on my TV for like a round or two. But I mean, I've played the Yu-Gi-Oh game on my phone, to the point where I'm like in the bathroom and my butt gets sore, you know. So like,
yeah. I
I've been in
mean,
those situations where I'm just like, oh, I've spent a really long time in here. I should probably leave.
there've been a lot of good mobile games that I've played, but I can't. There's nothing that keeps me playing it because I think the big part of it is because it is mobile. I don't care too much for them. I'd rather play something with nice graphics or a full story and all that. And I have played the Game Boy version of this, and I absolutely love the hell out of that game. Um, which sounds kind of hypocritical. That was technically mobile, but it's a difference. A
It wasn't
mobile
the same.
console.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
wasn't
wasn't the same, and it was so cool to be able to do that that long ago when Pokemon trading card game wasn't as big then. But I kind of hope that Nintendo would make a more a grand version of this trading card game for the Switch with like maybe a story mode like the Game Boy Color or um some kind of campaign. That'd be nice to have, but I don't think that's gonna happen, especially with them releasing this. So
Wait, did the Game Boy do that?
yeah, the Game Boy had a trading card game. I think it was called Pokemon
Yeah, but
Trading Card Game.
did you actually like you went to different people and
Yeah, it had a story
okay,
in a
no, so
way.
I did
It
play it.
was
I did
weird.
play it.
Yeah,
It's like in the it's fuzzy, but I'm remembering it. Okay.
yeah, I learned a lot playing that actually. So yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's go on to story number 2 here. This is U.S. government now investigating Activision Blizzard. Bobby Kotick has been subpoenaed, and this is from Kotaku by Zach Zowaisen. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has reportedly launched a wide-reaching investigation into Activision Blizzard, with the government agency looking into how the embattled publisher handled the multiple allegations of sexual harassment, abuse, and toxic behavior that became public following a California Department of Fair Employment and Housing lawsuit filed in July. The SEC has subpoenaed Activision and several of its high-ranking execs, including CEO Bobby Kotick. In a report out today by the Wall Street Journal, it was revealed that the SEC.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yandy, no!
I'm so happy you talked
Yo, so
because I literally thought I froze. I was like, as soon as he stopped, I was like, ah!
Yandy, come back. All
I
right.
bet you his internet dropped out.
Oh man. So let me see where he left off. I'll kind of take over. He said in a report out by the Wall Street Journal, it was revealed that the SEC has begun investigating Activision's Blizzard and is asking for the Call of Duty and Warcraft publisher to hand over various documents. These include the personal files of 6 previous employees and the records of CEO Kotek communications with executives relating the numerous complaints of sexual harassment and discrimination leveled against Activision staff. So then it goes on to say Activision spokesperson Helene Kelsky confirmed with the Wall Street Journal on Monday that the SEC was indeed investigating the massive gaming publisher, telling the outlet that the SEC is focused on the company's disclosure regarding employment matters and related issues. She also confirmed that several current and former employees had been subpoenaed by the federal agency. The company is cooperating with the SEC. SEC says Klesky. Kotaku has contacted Activision Blizzard about the investigations. So yeah. So Yendi says pretty much how long until Kotick is forced to resign, how long do you think it's going to take before Kotick has to resign?
Bro, if he does, I mean, it's hard to say, man. The fact that it hasn't happened yet is kind of crazy. Usually they're like, oh, things, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well there he goes. Shit hit the fan. So like, hold on real quick. I'm gonna share a screen so I can just see if this will help. Will it?
Yeah, hold on,
No,
guys.
it
We are
won't.
having some technical difficulties, podcast listeners. It's
Oh,
fine.
wait,
We are
guys!
having
I
a
have a
little bit.
debrief button.
Oh, the debrief
Yeah,
button for
baby.
just us.
Ooh.
Here we go. Wait, the debrief button. Wait, oh yeah, you just hit it because there's a delay. There we go. All right, cool. So
Looks
yeah,
good. All
we'll
right.
wait till Yendi gets back, and then we'll just
He
continue with the show.
lost power, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy to me that it hasn't happened yet. And if they honestly think they can fix it, I mean, I guess kudos to them. I don't
No.
really know.
I mean, it's never going to be really fixed. You can't really fix this kind of a situation. It's
Yeah.
one of those things that there's going to be. This was bound to happen, though. The investigation, because it's almost like the hey, Yendi's back.
Hey, there he is.
There he is.
Oh my god, check out this transition, please. Oh my gosh, smooth. I'm smooth with it, boy. Look at that.
Smooth operator.
Oh, man.
Smooth. So yeah, Yendi, I finished reading the article up to where it says Kotaku contacted Activision Blizzard about the SEC investigation, and I asked Chris about the question, so that's where we are right now.
Okay, the first question.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I was going to answer the first question right now.
Okay. Okay. So yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying is he's going to have to resign soon. But basically, this is one of those things where you can't be within because regardless of how you put it's always going to look bad on him, because either you were irresponsible and not knowing this was happening, or you knew this was happening. Either way, you are at the top of the food chain, and you are managing people at the end of the day. So I'm pretty sure there's been plenty of women, plenty of people of color who showed up and said that these things were an issue, and he just ignored them, because there's no way that you can have this many allegations and someone try not to contact him. So it was either one of those things where he just completely was negligent about it and just was like, oh, well, I don't, they're lying because my, the people above me, under me, who I've chose, there's no way they can do that. And I feel like when these things happen, the CEO has to be in full center about these things, because he's he's running the company at the end of the day. So he chose the people who are in those positions. And if someone's coming to you and saying that these things are happening and you're not investigating, or at least trying to figure out if these are facts, because this is something very important that you should be checking out, then he has to resign or be fired. That's just what it is.
Can you, when there's an investigation going on, are you allowed to resign?
You can resign.
Or do you have to stick around? Yeah.
No, you can resign.
As long as you provide the information that they're asking of you.
Yeah.
You have to. So all I'm gonna say is, look, this guy's he's always been shady. He's always been one of those people that only cares about money, and that's been evident since the beginning ever.
100%.
I mean, he's made Activision a lot of money. Great. Shareholders love him, but now he has to answer for all the shit that he let pass under his direction, right? So this is something that he had coming in my eyes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Chris, did you already answer that one?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
You did? Okay.
I just can't believe it hasn't happened yet. If he's still there, I'm assuming he's going to try to. I feel like he has some more skeletons, more bodies to bury. And he's just trying to, if he's still in the offices and stuff like that, he can kind of try to finagle his way out of it. But
the thing is, I don't think why he hasn't resigned yet is because the shareholders, the board, likes him because of how he has turned the company around since he became CEO. So I think that is an issue there itself. The board members need to be looked at, maybe swapped out. I don't know how that works, but it sounds like there's some bias there, and he won't be won't resign. I think he will eventually resign. It'll probably happen before the end of the year, but this is taking way too long for it to happen in my eyes, and probably in the eyes of many other people, because they
Like,
have a lot of competent people that could take his spot, like
yeah.
Mike Ibarra, which was the Xbox. He was somebody big at Xbox, and now he's actually co CEO of Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, with somebody else. But there's definitely people that can fill in his shoes. Is it going to be somebody that will only worry about money and something that the CEO should have to do, and not really worry about people? I don't know, but he needs to resign, and it needs to happen quick before. I mean, I don't think Activision can really save face anymore. So
no, it's too late. It's always going to be too late, I think, because it's just now once you get that the stain of this like these serious allegations, you're always going to be looked at in this light, and you should be. Like, it's just one of those things. Like I said again, it's just he was overseeing the company, especially during that initial merger. Like, you were overseeing all of this. You were responsible for knowing, because like I said, there's no way this many people could have had this feeling and then be like, hey, not try to talk to the CEO about it. So I agree with Yendi, what you're saying. He's completely been shady about a lot of things, not just this. Like, he's been shady with business deals, with the way that Call of Duty has been ran, all of that stuff. So
I think the final blow for me was when the company had record profits and they still fired, like, I don't know how many hundreds of employees. Like, how fucking shitty is that? Like,
capitalism.
Obviously, you don't give two shits about your employees if you're doing this.
When you see that kind of check, man, when it sucks that it happens to a lot of people, but when they see that check, it's just like, oh, I want everything I can to deal with it. It's just like, even the people that like cut their paycheck to save others just for the small, they're like, I'm only going to do it for like a month or two, and then we're going right back to normal. Like,
yep,
we'll cut whoever we have to at this point.
CEOs don't need that much money. Period. I'm sorry.
That's what they say, but that's never I mean, you're 100% correct, because it's been proven by I always forget this guy's name that took a major pay cut.
Where he gave everybody minimum $70K a year.
$70K, yes.
Yeah.
And I always forget his name, and I'll find it out once I'm not talking. But he proved that you can run a sustainable business by everyone getting paid a minimum. He had the lowest turnover rate in, like, he literally dropped by almost like 60% or something crazy like that, just to show that, hey, this can work. And his business has almost quadrupled from what it was worth originally. It's just one of those things where people have this old mindset that I became rich this way, and this is the only way I can become rich. And then they just tend to workers are always always on the first on the chopping block. Oh, what can we get rid of to save some money? Well, we have too many workers. And then it ends
up overloading everybody. They work way too many hours,
and then you become stressed and all that stuff, and that's what happens. And they just don't care, because they're making quadruple worth their profit. So that's how it is. Capitalism.
Familiar to me, but anyway.
Which gardens in Disneyland?
What?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. I love Disney.
Capitalism. That's what we're talking about. Capitalism.
But
take that how you want to.
Go ahead.
I think Miyamoto, right? Yeah. I think he did that also whenever Nintendo was looking to be in a bad spot. He
no, it was Iwata, I think.
Iwata, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah, I think I thought it was a cool story whenever they did that. That was the first time I ever, because I got to read about the 70K guy, but the Nintendo story was the first time I ever heard of that, and I didn't even know that could be a thing. I was just like, wow, that's crazy that people actually would think to do that. Like, I just always thought, like, hey, I'm gonna take my money and run. Like, sorry that it didn't work out.
Care, man. It's just different cultures care more.
His name, Dan Price.
Dan Price. Oh, okay, okay, nice.
He took a 90% pay cut.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So Chris, with the new CEO, do you ever see Activision Blizzard being seen in a positive light again?
I do not. It's been a shit show for a long time, man. The game, it's not. This is It's definitely just a business now. It's a business. It was never for gamers. It's not a fun, like, unfortunately all these software, or not software developers, coders and all that stuff, people that work on video games, probably, I mean, to be honest, I almost went for jobs like that because they had, it was a place for like entry level work to get into the industry, and unfortunately it's just not a good place. It's not a good place at all, and it just goes to show you what happens whenever suits get their hands on something that's art. That's what happens when art becomes a business. It just destroys it all. Everything. The music industry is crap. It's just not fun anymore, man. It sucks that these people got up there. They get their way up there to because they know, the right words to say to shareholders and all this other stuff, and make these companies money, and then the art is completely gone, and the happiness is gone, and the artist is just stressed, and it sucks.
Yeah,
So.
I think I'm actually gonna be on the opposite side of the coin here. I think it is possible for them to be seen in a negative light, and then that actually leads me into my final question on this, which is what they have to do in order to turn it around. I think what would need to happen for Activision to be seen in a positive light again is for them to do a name change to something else, and then completely overhaul their management slowly over time, maybe over like a 5 to 10 year period. And then after a while, people will forget completely that it's Activision Blizzard because it'll be completely new management. Nobody will know. They'll make great games again. And by great games, I mean mediocre Call of Duty 2067 or whatever it is at that point in time. But yeah, I do think it's possible, but it's not going to be anything that's going to be like in the next year or 2 or 3. It's going to take about 5 to 10, I think, before people start to be like, okay, fine. I forgot who Activision was. The management's not the same anymore. They're still putting out hopefully good games, but yeah, I think that's
the name change. Okay, I'll agree with you on the name change thing, but I feel like at this point, it's like, isn't that gonna be way expensive? Their name is on almost everything.
Yeah, it would be very tough for sure. But now they have a reputation.
They have a long road. They have a long road ahead of them before we.
It's possible, but I mean, people are going to think of. I mean, look at EA. EA still considered, or has been considered in the past, one of the worst companies ever in America, right? And slowly but surely, they're doing things like letting people use the Apex patent, right, to use it for free. So they're going in the right direction, and I think they know that they were seen in that light, and they've been trying to change it. They're still struggling a little bit, but I think they're headed in a better direction. To me, EA is better than Activision when it comes to like image at the moment, and I do think Activision can do it, but they need to make some huge changes that'll take a while. What about you, Alan? Do you think it's possible?
I mean, anything's possible, right? So I'm not going to say it's not. I think the likelihood of it is going to be really difficult just because, like I said, I mean, it's really hard for people to forget things like this. So like, even if once this becomes public and they're always going to have this look on them, or Activision Blizzard. I mean, on top of what they've already been doing, which hasn't, right? I'm talking about as far as gaming in general, which hasn't been great. Adding this onto that it's gonna be really difficult because we've seen the decline of their games since Activision has taken over Blizzard. All Blizzard games have, in my opinion, taken a downward tumble. Like, I don't think any game, they're treating games, their Blizzard games, like exactly like you said, like they're just money props. They're not actually working on these games anymore, or the communities of these games. And then you get games like Overwatch, who did come out around that time, but look at, like, a lot of people can't play Overwatch because they just feel like it's just a toxic environment. So it's really tough to have people view you in a different life when you've been doing so much shady shit. And this is one of those things. And this is a big, big, big thing in the eyes of a lot of people. So having big, like, racial and sexual harassment stuff, it's just something that people do not forget. And people will always keep that in mind, no matter where the company. Because even if you change your name, I do agree with you where 5 and 10 people, where a majority of people will forget, and they probably will be able to but there's going to be a group there that portion that they lost will always be gone because it's just not. They're never going to want to associate themselves with them again. Period. And that's just the way it is. And honestly, as much as it sucks, is that people are going to go continue to play Activision Blizzard games because enough people don't actually care to where it will feel like, hey, I'm never going to play this game again, or I'm going to try to fight to change what the company is from the inside, which is a difficult thing because you can't. How many people? You have to get new management. You have to get people who are not making the same decisions, or those people at the top have to have changed the way that they view things. And we know how hard that is, to get people to be like, hey, change the way that you thought this process worked because you're hurting people. And for a lot of people up on those, that are at the top past the CEO, they're just we're making money. So we need to still try to make money, but not change, because there's also people on the other side of the fence who are like, well, that all happened in the past, so it's not a big deal. So, you know what I mean? And that's unfortunate. So it's going to be hard. I think they will always have that portion that they've lost, but I feel like people will at some point be like, you know what, it happened in the past, so I'm going to continue playing their games, or, promote them, or maybe they do have that overhaul that you said, and that would be a thing. But the likelihood of it happening, I think is low.
I just thought of another way that they could possibly save face, and that is if the stock prices drop so low that Activision says, hey, we have to let go of Blizzard. And then, so scenario one, stocks drop so low that Activision cuts ties with Blizzard. Microsoft buys Activision. Blizzard, I mean, right? Or scenario two, stocks drop super low, Microsoft buys Activision Blizzard. And then they completely overhaul that company. Now they're under Microsoft. Microsoft is a monopoly. They get divided. The U.S. goes to war with Vietnam, and then that's it. World's over. I don't know, man. It's just the way it happens. Okay.
Oh, okay. Whole video game. Holy shit!
But yeah, that is. I could definitely see.
I was in the car with you. Literally was in the car with you, and then you literally said in the car like, hey, what if I drove this off the cliff right now? I'd be like, you know what, pull over.
But yeah, but seriously though, I think that is definitely a possibility. Maybe a little bit far-fetched, because I don't know if the board members would ever agree to that. I mean, it depends on how low the stock gets. But if they have to save the company, hey man, I'm dropping Blizzard. I mean, they have a lot of good IPs that are, bolstering Activision's shares, but why are you going to keep something that's going to keep plummeting your stocks? At what point do you say, hey, we got to cut our losses here and
they're still
either pick up somebody else?
They're still doing pretty well, so it
right. Yeah, exactly. But we'll see what happens when this lawsuit is actually over and done, and what they're asked to do by the courts. Maybe they do dissolve the company somehow, or who knows what the hell will happen. Yep. But I hope that in the end, Activision dissolves and is a thing of the past, and all that negative bullshit that they've created throughout the years, when treating everybody like robots and crunch and all that stuff. I hope they're just a bad memory, and then I'd hate to see Blizzard go that way as well. But that culture, I don't think, can be saved anymore. I mean, unless they completely overhaul the upper management, which it seems like it's happening anyways. Slowly people are leaving, resigning, but just the name Blizzard now will never be seen the same. So name change, let's go. So all right, so let's go ahead on to our next topic. We're actually going to go to another topic here. This one's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We'll start with Alan here. What was your first online game you ever played, and what was your first reaction when you played it?
First online game.
Yeah, how old were you, do you think?
Well, I'll find out now because I'll look at the year this game. But I'll never forget. My first online game was SOCOM for the PS2, because this is when legit you could. You remember PS2 didn't have the port for an actual well, at the time was dial up because it didn't it like Ethernet was for the really expensive, but
You had to get like a thing to
yeah,
put
you
in.
had to get a little adapter. And I will never forget because SOCOM came with the headset and when you bought the game. So because I remember SOCOM being like, man, SOCOM was like $70 when it first came out. And I will never forget going online through dial-up and trying to play it and thinking this was the coolest thing because I could talk to my friends who also had the game, but it was so slow when I think about it now and I think about lag that we used to have back then, which was just like, man, these games were literally unplayable back then. But we tried, like Sony tried it, and I remember also after playing SOCOM, I think the next thing was the Dreamcast had it also, and then you could play some games. I remember playing some NBA, but SOCOM was the first game, and I thought this was the greatest thing ever. And I was like, this is at the time I was like, man, I can't wait till like play other games like this and see where it evolved to. And I would have never imagined it being what it is now, to where like how easy it is. Like honestly, we take for granted how easy it is to connect to games and stuff like that because it's so easy to access now. But man, back then you literally had to connect through a dial up. You had to
wait.
You had to wait. Not only that, but then you made your house phone completely inactive because if you didn't have another line and someone called, you got disconnected. So like it was such a like it was so insane to use the internet back then. Like, and this was like what 90, I want to say like 98 ish, like
That sounds about right. Yeah.
2000 ish. So I mean, like it was it was a whole process, and now we're just literally online all the time.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's such a crazy concept to think about.
The only way I used to get online is through
like,
AOL. That's the only way I knew how to get online.
Yeah, and then you got mail. Like
Yeah.
it's such a crazy concept to think about now. But SOCOM was my first one.
Nice. All right. So for me, and then we'll go over to Chris. For me, mine happened a little bit later. My first actual online game that I actually played, and I remember this night vividly, like every detail, because I was so excited about what I was just experiencing, and that was Halo 2 actually.
Mhm.
And I remember I was at my my ex-girlfriend's house at the time, and it was super cold. It was late at night. I just learned how to connect to the internet, and I was like, I'm gonna try this. I had an Ethernet cable. I plugged it into the back of my original Xbox, or was it 360? I don't remember.
No, Halo 2 was original Xbox.
And then I went to Xbox Live, which is in beta back then.
Mhm.
And then it connected me to a lobby, and I saw these other people running around. I'm like, these robots are acting so weird. And then it took me such a long time to realize there were actual other people on the other end. I'm like, this is the best thing ever. This is gonna change everything. Yeah. And I did not sleep that night. I literally did not sleep that night. I think I started at like 11 p.m. Did not go to sleep. I had to go to school the night after, the day after. Didn't go. Didn't go at all. I played Halo 2 online, and that was the most mind blowing experience I've had. And
Halo 2 would have been.
I was in middle.
2004.
No, not middle. I think I just started high school. Yeah, I think I just started high school. So
sounds about right.
Man, it was just like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it was that easy to do, and just how awesome it was to finally be able to tell that you were shitty at games. After playing the story mode for a while, and then get your ass beat by real people. I'm like, oh wow, I really suck.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Halo 2 was my first online game. Chris, tell us.
Halo 2 was also my first online game. I was 10 years old. I did not have an Xbox or anything. I went to my friend's house to play. And to be honest, I don't think we were shocked about playing online at the time, because where I was lucky enough that like that kids camp I keep talking about, we did System Link. So I played the first Halo System Link, and since it was rated M, right? I didn't know it was rated M at the time. And the way that the owner got it past the parents was just like, hey, like the game, they play this game, they're all playing together. You guys can sit here and watch. We wouldn't have the volume on. So for the longest time, Halo 1, I had no idea what it sounded like. They just had the volume all the way down to 0,
Dang.
and we played. And
Look,
everybody was
this
playing.
guy sounds like he's a total badass. Like he knew
Shout
his
out
shit.
to Jim, bro. I'm still friends with him on Facebook.
Hey, applause to this guy for
he was he was my swim coach. He did soccer. He built his own
Jim is a Renaissance man.
right.
He whenever he got his new place, he went out into the back of the woods, cleared out an area, and started his own paintball team. Like they play paint. We used to play paintball in the back. He did everything, man. It was
We need to get Jim on the show.
Yeah, man. Really nice dude. Jim and Tammy. Shout out to Tammy. Sorry, they were a duo. They were the duo. Sorry, I think Cora was crying. So, but yeah, whenever Halo 2 came out, we did, like I said, a lot of system links. So whenever we played online, at first it was my buddy Brandon and we were playing his older brother and his friends. So like, and that was without system. Like we were just they were just happy they didn't have to connect the cable to each other's Xboxes anymore. So we're like, oh, let's try it. That's how we tested it out. And then whenever we played online, that's when things got crazy. We were figuring out all this crazy crap. That's whenever you found out like what the super bounces were and stuff like that from word of mouth. And it was really cool. I was just like, hey man, some guy told me the other night about this thing. Let's try to do it. Oh, okay, yeah. And you go in and you try to do it. But my first in-house, like at my actual house online game was Halo 3. So got an Xbox 360 for my birthday. Dad got me Halo 3, and I had the little Xbox Live wireless thing that you connected to the back. It had the antenna. So
pure gaming joy right there, man. Like unalterated, just pure fun. That's what that era was right there.
Yeah, man. Halo.
Every game was.
I was just obsessed with Halo after that, and my dad probably regretted getting me an Xbox 360 because that's whenever he would come in my room. It's like 5 a.m. and I still have the one like earpiece with the green microphone, and it's just like, it just kept going. And he's like, turn it off, and it's like, okay.
Like,
Yeah, I feel like that's. I mean, it was forever ago. How many years now?
Like 20 years ago.
Jeez, man, that's crazy.
Sheesh. Did you do a sheesh on here? Sheesh.
I'm glad that's died down. I'm so glad it's died down. So yeah, a lot of good memories.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah, a lot of good memories for our first online game for sure. We'll go ahead and do this last story just because I know Chris is itching to hear about Call of Duty.
No, skip, please.
So our next story is over at Video Game Chronicles, and this is by Andy Robinson. Cheaters are already spoiling Call of Duty Vanguard's multiplayer beta. Surprise, surprise. Call of Duty players are facing a familiar frustration this weekend as Vanguard's cross-platform multiplayer beta appears to have already been targeted by cheaters. As seen in the social media videos below, you can go to the site later, less than 48 hours into the console and PC test, several players already seem to have encountered players using cheats to auto-aim on opponents. Cheating and hacks have been major issues in recent Call of Duty games to the extent that a new anti-cheat system is being marketed as one of the key features of Vanguard. Activision says Warzone's PC anti-cheat will be introduced later this year, following the release of Call of Duty Vanguard and a brand new game map. Activision seems to be confident about the anti-cheat measures it's planning to introduce, as Call of Duty's official social accounts openly taunted pissed-off cheaters in a video last month. Very cringy. In August, it was announced that another 100,000 players have been banned from Warzone in the game's latest action. And the recent marketing video warned, "We know what you're doing. We're coming for you." So, to be fair, now, the anti-cheat was not in the beta, but to me, I think it's very telling of how much these developers don't give a shit anymore, that they're in less than 48 hours, there's already cheaters. I myself watched one of those videos that the website mentioned, and I'll put this in the chat right here for anybody who wants to see it. But 48 hours, it's insane that it happened that quickly, and I never understand. I try to put myself in somebody else's shoes or try to see the other side of the story. But for the life of me, I just don't understand what you get from cheating. Like, what what do you get? What are you proving to yourself? You get a bunch of kills over and over. You rack up kills for what? What are you doing it for?
I got the answer to that though.
Yeah, it's like so. Yeah, Alan, do you think the new anti-cheat will save Vanguard's already seemingly sinking ship?
No. Nothing is saving this sinking ship. This game it's going to be a wash. Anti-cheat's not going to help this game. Nothing is going to help this game because it's a game that no one actually wants. And I think everyone has proven that we do not want this game, and nobody wanted to go back to World War II, and everyone has said that. So anti-cheat will save Warzone when it gets to Warzone. That's what it will save if it gets there. But Warzone is still super popular, as Chris is stretching. But
I do know, it up.
Yeah, I do know why people in this day and age now cheat, because a lot of people who cheat like to pass it off as them actually doing it and then putting it on YouTube and showing, hey, I got this, 1,000 for Apex, I got this 5,000 kill game, or in Warzone I got a 50 bomb or something like that. So it shows off as people, so people could start watching your content, and that's what people are using it for now, because Warzone is a perfect example of a game why you would not need to cheat, because I completely agree with you. Warzone doesn't have a rank system. So in Apex, I can understand it more because it's I'm playing these top players and I'm trying to become an Apex Predator so that I can have this, all the rewards that come with being an Apex Predator. But in Warzone, you're literally just doing it to be an asshole. And or to show off your YouTube of something that you're not actually doing. So I don't understand how you get that. I completely agree where you say where I don't get where that satisfaction comes from. But I guess people getting follows and clicks and stuff like that are the satisfaction that they need. And they're like, well, if I post this up and no one actually knows that I'm cheating, then people will like me. And we've seen that work because there's been some streamers who've got caught cheating. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I love watching those videos on YouTube.
who have big platforms. So that's the reason why they're doing it, and that's what makes it more prevalent for people to do it. So but again, to answer the question, it's not saving. Nothing can save this game. It's going to tank. It's going to be terrible. There's going to be too many other options to play for it to actually be relevant. I mean, because yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing: there's people already excusing it, and they're seeing it with rose tinted glasses, right? So that leads me into my That leads into my other very important question, and I'll wait for Chris to come back because it has to do with him, and I want to make sure that he hears me ask this question. So, Alan, how long do you think until Chris breaks down and buys Vanguard? 2-3 months, or you think? What do you think? Give me a number there.
I'm gonna say Chris is gonna be strong. Honestly, listen. I'm gonna give Chris credit, and I think he's going to not play Vanguard because unless it goes on completely cheap of a sale. But I think what's going to happen, hear me out.
Okay, all right.
I think what's going to happen is that Chris is going to have other games to play. If Battlefield is what we think it's going to be, then he's going to play Battlefield. And if Halo is what we think it's going to be, he will be busy playing those two games and completely forget about Call of Duty. He's already into Apex now. So
So you think he will eventually buy it, just not at full price?
Listen, I mean, I think he might.
Look at his face.
You know what? I'm going to say Chris is not going to buy it. Period.
Ooh,
he's not going to buy it.
I've been winning all these bets lately. Come on, I give it until October 32nd.
Hey Google, cancel my pre-order.
Oh no!
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Okay, obviously that's a joke because Chris is our resident Call of Duty fan, but I don't know about that anymore. And then just real quick, Alan, will you ever play this game? I mean, you probably already. Okay,
I'm not.
Okay, sweet. All right, and with that, we'll go over to Chris. Chris, you think the new anti-cheat will save Vanguard's?
It's gonna be a half-assed. It's gonna be a half-assed anti-cheat. That's exactly what it's gonna be. They're gonna get through it. They're gonna continue to remake these profiles and keep going. For the cheaters, I'm sorry that you were the kid that got pelted with dodgeballs. I'm sorry that nobody talked to you in school and all this other stuff, and you need something to outlet and feel like you can win. But if you become famous from cheating, you will get fined out, and I hope you get shit on for it because you deserve it. And anyway, yeah, man, it's crazy. I always think about the cheating thing also, and the fact that you come home, you pay all this money, you come home, you put in the game. Like somebody gets off of work, somebody out there gets off of work, comes home, man, I'm gonna put in a few games of Call of Duty.
Love that meme, by the way.
And then
too.
just shooting through walls the whole time, and like probably sweating. It's just like, oh man, I'm the best in the game. My God, I can't believe it. God blessed me with these hands. Oh man, like it's insane. Yeah, the anti-cheat is not gonna last long. The game looks like crap. I will probably play it if there is a free weekend. I already have my buddy Jamie. Shout out to Jamie and Carrie and all them. All my Call of Duty buddies that play. They continue to play because they compete, and they've messaged me, hey, get on the come hang out with us on the beta, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I didn't pre-order it. I asked if the beta was free. I went to that point. I'm like, is it open beta? I'll play a little bit of it. I'll try it. But yeah, only if there's a free weekend. They will not be getting my money this year. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to be playing Halo and Battlefield. I have convinced myself that I will dedicate to that. And I love Halo, and I feel like it's time. I mean, whenever I went from Halo to Call of Duty, I think it's just time for me to be like, you know what? I gave Call of Duty its time. Let me go back to Halo and give Halo what it deserves. So
they need to release another Modern Warfare type game.
That like if they do, because I was watching old competitive videos of Advanced Warfare, and that was the game I was actually really good at when they first introduced jetpacking. If they did that, I would actually go back a little bit. I like arcade. Nope. I like arcade stuff like that, man. They're gonna go back to jetpacks. They're gonna go back to jetpacks. 100%. Nope.
You had me for a second there until you said Advanced Warfare, and then I'm like, okay, yeah.
Advanced Warfare or Black Ops 3. They will go back to those.
Okay. Well, at that point, why play both Call of Duty and Halo? It'll be the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
It's the same futuristic shit. For me, Halo has always been that game that's been the futuristic go-to. Whenever Call of Duty are they?
Yes.
When you compare Advanced Warfare to Halo, how different are they?
If you're going by story, sure, they're the same. They're in the future. Wow, but the play style, the technique, the thought process is completely different.
Maybe we can agree to disagree, but Halo to me has always been the futuristic one because it started out that way. Call of Duty started out as World War I, and it went to Modern Warfare. After they went into the future, that's when they lost me. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Jetpacks should not be in COD. This is a Halo thing that they were obviously trying to capitalize on at that point in time because Halo was fucking booming, right? But I for me, the only way I would go back is if another Modern Warfare, which apparently is what's happening next year with the Infinity Ward. So if it's as good as what Modern Warfare 2019 was, I'm not saying I'm not going to play it. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is my last. I'm never going to play Call of Duty again. I'm just skipping this year. They don't deserve it, man. It's not even looking at the beta. Like I'm looking at Twitch right now, and I'm seeing people that there's a list that's like playing Call of Duty Vanguard. I look at it. It looks terrible. One of the biggest the first thing I clicked on, the very first stream I clicked on, right? Opened it to see what it looked like. And the guy was complaining. He's like, bro, why is the sun so bright? There was a huge sunspot that gamers were complaining about all weekend that you could not see the map. You couldn't see anything. If you looked that way, you were it's a flashbang. It's a constant flashbang. I was like, yep, let me go ahead and tab at it.
I did see that on Reddit, a picture of it too. I'm like, wow, that brings back a lot of Battlefield 3 vibes because Battlefield 3 had a terrible lens flare issue as well. And I don't understand that design choice. It's like, why are you making it harder for me to see my enemies? It's already fucking impossible to see in these games. It's like, take this lens flares out and get it out of here. But yeah, it looked really bad.
Wait, was this question always in there? How long until Christmas? Or did you just add
he was always there.
I guess I just noticed. Wow. I'm not that big of a fanboy.
You said you would play it. And you said Advanced Warfare was your favorite.
I will give it if it's a free weekend, yeah. But it's kind of like it's all because of competitive. And I got into esports with the Call of Duty esports stuff. So that's what I follow. So I like to play what I watch. So
I get it.
it's
But
yeah.
if you're
Also,
not making money off of it, what are you competing for?
what's that?
If you're not making money off of it, what are you competing for? COD points?
No, I mean I didn't compete. I just liked watching.
Uh,
So it's just like because
okay.
whenever I watched it, I was just like, man, I want to get to that point. Just like whenever I watch Valorant Masters, and immediately I'm just like, man, I really like because I see it. I'm like, I think I can get to that point, and I want to try. So like, and then I go and try, and then I realize very quickly, no, Chris, you cannot get to that point unless you can dedicate 8 hours every day to this game, and I will not do that. So,
Yeah, I wish we had that time, man, because I would definitely put that time into Valorant. But I know I would need 8 hours, like you said, to be okay at the game in a competitive scene. I just don't have it in me. And I think we have enough time for this last question here. So we'll go with Alan again. If you could join an esports org, who would it be, and what game would you play for them?
Oh man!
Don't forget, we already have $1 million contract with Fnatic.
Yeah.
10 million, you said.
Oh yeah, 10 million.
Listen, man, that's a tough one. I think I would go to,
and it could be any team and any game, even if they don't currently play it as a competitive team.
Man,
so hard, dude.
I think I could play the games could possibly play competitively. I think I could play 2K competitively, and I think I would join 100 Thieves.
Okay,
I think that
they've been on the rise, man. Their balance team's on fire.
I like what they're doing at top of the management, all that good stuff. Introducing new code, let their new part owners. Also, congrats to Tim for Complexity part owner of that.
I thought that was really awesome. Cool. Yeah,
but yeah, so I think it'd be 100 Thieves. I love that their color scheme. I like their logo. I think it's all dope. So,
well, Nate Shot's been, I like. Since he was on Optic, like Nate Shot's been that guy, man. He just knows how to. He's that person. I mean, whenever I used to watch a lot of the documentaries and stuff like that they would produce themselves, it was just like, oh, why do you think Nate Shot, like everybody likes him? It's just because he's very relatable. Like everybody can relate to him, and the fact that he got to where he was, or where he started to where he is now, is completely insane. And he's like, man, I like fashion, so you know what? I hired a fashion department, and like I have my own product line now, and it's just like that's awesome. Instead of just doing like oh, we're an esports team, here's a logo, put it on a jersey and get it out there, put our sponsors on the jersey, ship it. Logos don't.
Yeah, I hate his arrogance, but I can't hate the way he got his.
I don't blame the arrogance. He earned it. He earns it because beforehand he was the quiet kid that nobody talked to. He's been kicked off of so many teams. Called a trash player, everything like that. And whenever he finally won, he that's when he stepped up and was just like, "Where's all that shit talk?" And I'm like, you know what, man, get it out there.
Shit talk. You got to come with the same energy. And then I respect people who called the people out who were saying that they were trash and probably are not as good as even the people who were calling him trash were not as good as he was anyway. So man. I mean. And again, so I mean, I like their whole vibe, and like I said, their color scheme is dope. So I'm a fan.
So you'd be 100 Thieves playing 2K.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. What about you, Chris? Optic, I'm assuming, right?
I would say Optic, but I was gonna say 100 Thieves also.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like that business is booming, and I like what they're doing. But man, that's tough. Yeah, because Optic is just Call of Duty now. I mean, they tried to branch out, and it just didn't go well for them. It was a rough year. But without Hex, Optic Hex, the owner, I probably wouldn't be doing Twitch or YouTube or anything like that. Whenever I found his videos in college, my second year in college, I remember sitting there. I forgot what Call of Duty was out at the time. I was looking up videos of like how to get better. Like I remember typing that in. I was like, how do I? Because I was just awful.
I watched a lot of Machinima videos. That's where I saw Hex.
Yeah,
Machinima.
The countdowns and everything. So that moment, I remember sitting on the second floor of this building and finished my homework, waiting for Bree to get out of class, and watching it. And then I got hooked, and then I got addicted to it, and then I was just like, man, this is a career. And that ultimately led me to like dropping out of community college, finding audio engineering, and I'm like, I want to work in video games. Like this stuff makes me happy. I like being around this content. Like if I I always told myself from that day, I was just like, if I'm not the one, if I'm not the talent on stage, I want to be behind stage helping the talent. Like I want to do whatever it takes to just put on a show. I just want to put on shows, and that's all. That's it. So, and it all started with that. Like it's kind of crazy how much it came from that. So it was just a light switch. So yeah, I would love to be on Optic, but yeah, I'd probably 100 Thieves. And game I would play. Oh
Call of Duty.
no.
It's tough, man. Because
I'm thinking like realistically what I could play.
Call of Duty.
No,
Fall
I can't
Guys.
play Call of Duty. Yeah, I'd be a professional. You know what? I'd be a professional.
No, no.
I would own that name. That'd be so dope.
I would not. Stress that comes to that game. No.
I'd say Halo, or like a VR game, like be a first like VR.
A VR like that'd be cool to have. I mean,
know, right?
It depends on how far in the future it is. That'd be cool for sure. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, both of you 100 Thieves, huh?
Yeah.
100 Thieves 2K, and then what did you say? Was your actual
For me?
suggestion Fall Guys? Yeah.
I'd do it.
Fall Guys?
I'd say Halo.
Halo. Okay.
Yeah. And I will say, I'm not gonna lie, Fnatic's been up there. It is up there because of the Valorant stuff. But
Oh man, I would love to. I would love to for Fnatic for sure. But that is
the question should have been like, if you were good at any game, what game would it be, and what org would you join? Because I'm thinking,
pretty much the same.
Because
the same thing.
I'm just thinking about like, what game could I realistically just play forever?
So, before I joined Fnatic, the esports org that I really wanted to join or be a part of was actually TSM. Because TSM, because I love and they're not together anymore, but I love the relationship between Myth and Daquan, and just the chemistry that they had there, and their
which those two recently came back. They're starting to do content again, but with their energy.
Yeah. So I love visually everything that TSM does. I'm a big stickler for design, and I love how simple their logo is, and their color scheme is really nice, and they have a nice, great
so dope too.
background. It is dumb. I like how it's an acronym, but Team Solo Mid, like what the hell?
Yeah.
I wish they would just change it. Which technically, it did change their name to FTX TSM now that they're partnered with the crypto. But yeah, that would have been it for me. If anything, for the design, their design language and their history, because they had a very huge history winning trophies and stuff, especially in League. But and who doesn't like Myth, right? Like, even though he was a Fortnite player primarily, he's a fun guy to watch.
He kind of went after the gaming community today.
I got some issues with him.
I agree with what he said. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it. There will never be an FPS player, a top FPS player who uses controller for me. Never.
No. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said like a top controller player playing mouse and keyboard. I thought. Because people were like, "That's crazy," because they posted up a picture of Formal, who's been playing a lot of Valorant and has been smoking people. But he said like, I would not pick a controller player to be
on my top 10 list of all time.
Okay.
Let's see what he say. I will never put a controller player in my top 10 for greatest FPS players of all time.
I get that. I mean,
I agree. I'm sorry. When it comes down to close quarters, the aim assist just takes over. There's no skill in that.
Look, I get that. But yeah, I mean,
that's a different discussion, right?
That's a different conversation. But I
maybe for next week.
Yeah, but it's hard. I don't know. I don't know how you could like. I just don't feel like it's really difficult to get the top controller player. I feel like when you play the top controller player against the top like keyboard and mouse player, I would put all my money on the keyboard.
I thought it was because it was transitioning, like they were transitioning, because I was pretty sure like there was a lot of controller players coming after them saying like, I play mouse and keyboard and I'll still smoke you. Like it's not, and then the people were just like, so, and it all started with Doc. Doc started it. And then Myth came in and said, you know what? Let me put some fuel on this.
Yeah,
and ignite it.
Doc said,
I love the banter. The banter is good. It's good. What did Doc say? Go ahead.
He tweeted out, without your aim assist, you ain't nothing. And that's when Myth replied, But I'm sorry, I'm on that same boat. I'm not saying that. Oh yeah, that's it. I'll leave it there. But we can
Another day.
another day, another dollar. So, with that being said, that will be our last story for tonight's show. Thank you so much to everybody who has joined us tonight. We saw we had about 6-7 people at one point. So, thank you for watching. We really appreciate the support. You can further support us by going over to our YouTube and watching our content there that these two gentlemen here put out every week. Make sure you go watch our LPF debriefs. Hopefully, we'll branch out soon and get you some live videos with us in it. Maybe soon an actual live show, which we've been trying to do, but it's just, life has been throwing wrenches our way. So eventually we're going to get some more stuff out there for you guys to watch. Again, support us there. Make sure you're subbed. Tell your friends if you want to be on the show. Let us know. Make sure you're subbed one more time because you got to drill it in there. And then eventually you might win a mouse. We do have a giveaway. Make sure you are there. Spread the word. Let people know. Again, thank you so much for the support up until this point, and we will see you, unless somebody else has something to say, next week. Yep. All right, well, with that being said, thank you for watching one more time, and Last Place Fire Team out.